Actually scared that like someone might attack me or do something crazy because he's been losing so much and he's been losing to like women that he knows and women that he hates that he's dealt with in the past, and he is absolutely the type of person that's vindictive. Like he literally told my mom that he was going to kill us all and it would only cost him 200 grand and it was worth it, and all his friends are murderers. And my mom went and told like the police that, obviously. And then we had pictures of him taking addresses of my mom's house on the iPad and pictures of the outside of my mom's house. So we have all of this evidence, like if any of the houses get robbed or if something happens to any one of us, that will go back to him. But he is so psychotic and he's so crazy. Everyone's telling me to like double check behind me as I leave and like carry even like bear pepper spray or like bear mace with me because he's such a psycho.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Gavin. I appreciate you stopping by. Today I want to give a shout out to a viewer who has been watching me ever since the Solve Crimes with Rick and Gavin days, who told me about the case that we're covering today. It wasn't even anywhere on my radar, and it's really too bad because there hasn't been very much coverage of it, and it is a brazen, violent crime that happened in broad daylight in front of more than one security camera, and no arrests have been made so far. It happened just in January of this year. Ramina Shah was a mother of three who found herself in a very difficult situation. She was married to a man named Bobby Shah, whose real name is this. I tried to look it up. I can't find the pronunciation, can't pronounce it. And it doesn't really matter because this guy has a lot of aliases, Bobby Shah being one of those. He is a suspected member of a Vancouver, British Columbia gang known as the Wolf Pack, whose primary business is the importation and distribution of drugs which are manufactured by Mexican cartels. Now, if you are as surprised as I was to learn about the existence of Canadian drug gangs, I suggest that you read this book. I just finished it today, and it really opened my eyes. I recommend it wholeheartedly. Now, personally, I haven't been able to tie Bobby Shah directly to the Wolf Pack, though in looking through his criminal record, there are convictions from car theft to counterfeiting to possession of stolen property to fraud. And while I haven't been able to connect him directly, when I look through his criminal record, there are a couple of his co-defendants that are confirmed members of the Wolf Pack, one of whom is currently serving a life sentence. Bobby's criminal record in British Columbia goes as far back as the year 2000. And I don't know exactly when he and Ramina were married, but I've got to believe that she knew who he was and what he was into prior to tying the knot. But I also think that Ramina was probably able to compartmentalize the different parts of her life. For her, what was out of sight was likely out of mind. And from the outside looking in, it looked like she had a pretty good life. A nice home in a nice neighborhood, luxury cars, parties, clothes, friends, the works. On March 15th, 2018, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police executed a search warrant on Bobby and Ramina's business called Hollywood Vape Labs. During their search, they found multiple cell phones, jewelry, bank cards and checks with names other than theirs on them, designer clothing and accessories, high-end alcohol, multiple computers and other devices, and a laundry list of other items. They found tax returns that showed that Bobby and Ramina each reported income of less than $30,000 Canadian per year. The police alleged that there was no way the Shaws could have purchased all that loot on the income that they were claiming, and they also alleged that Bobby and Ramina were guilty of fraud, possession of the proceeds of a crime, laundering, and tax evasion. In April of that year, an action was taken against Ramina and Bobby Shah by the Director of Civil Forfeiture of the Ministry of the Attorney General of British Columbia. In that action, the government alleged that the home they lived in and owned, which was valued at about 2.9 million Canadian, which is about 2.3 million in US dollars, was purchased with funds gained by criminal means or by illegal means. And according to news reports, I haven't actually seen the search warrants, but according to news reports, there were search warrants that were served that stated that the police had found a kilo of cocaine, 2 kilos of fentanyl, and another agent that is used in the cutting of cocaine inside a secret compartment in a car that was registered to Bobby Shah and was parked in the parking lot outside their business the day they were raided. All of Bobby and Ramina's legal woes came to an end in February of 2021, at least temporarily, when a judge ruled that their rights had been violated when police searched their business. News reports stated the reason that the judge threw out the action was because, quote, police seized numerous items not outlined in their warrant, gave select items back to victims without following proper procedure, and failed to hand over the couple's infant daughter to Shah in a timely manner during the raid itself. But by May of 2021, Ramina apparently had had enough. That's when court records show that she filed for divorce. Now, because it's family court, those records are sealed, but I've got to believe that things began to get pretty tense in the Shah household. And I don't have any details on this, so I have to make some broad speculations here. But in news reports from February of this year, reporters stated that Bobby Shah lived alone in the house that they had once shared. So I believe that Ramina had moved out.
Getting ready for my divorce party. Dipping low, picking up slow. Rolling all around, pocket out. We're having the best time, as you can tell.
Where she moved is unknown to me, but what I do know is that by January of 2022, she was working as a realtor using her social media skills to help her clients buy and sell homes.
Hey guys, welcome to my beautiful family home. I'm Ramina Shah, the newest member of Team Zuber and Associates. As a mother of 3, I know what it entails to multitask, as well as what it takes to find an efficient, functional family home. I've been a passionate real estate investor for the last 7 years, and with the right market research and strategy, I was able to achieve my real estate goals, and I want to do the same for you. My smart investing has gotten me into this multi-million-dollar family home, and using my expertise, I have turned my sight onto becoming a full-time realtor.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a grisly daytime attack that has claimed the life of a Maple Ridge mother of young children.
The 32-year-old woman was to death at a Coquitlam parkade Thursday afternoon. Police say she was rushed to hospital but died shortly after.
CTV's Ben Nesbitt joins us live from Austin Avenue in Marmont near the scene of the killing. And Ben, the suspect is still out there tonight.
Yeah, Jung, they remain at large. However, police are insisting there is no further threat to public safety, but they are tight-lipped on who that suspect may be. However, today they identified 32-year-old Ramina Shah as the victim. They say that she had just left her place of employment behind me here at around 4:30 yesterday when she headed down to the parkade under a strip mall here in the 1100 block of Austin Avenue. And now tonight, a pile of roses has begun to grow as people are beginning to honor the woman whose life was tragically taken.
Like me, a lot of you wouldn't be missing out on the latest fashion trends. So why are we sitting back?
Shaw's social media accounts and personal website show she was a real estate agent for Stonehouse Realty, located right here directly above the parking lot. CTV News has reached out to the company for comment, but have not heard back. Coquitlam RCMP were first called to the scene around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Shaw was taken to hospital, but later died.
According to reports I've read, Ramina was stabbed multiple times inside the parking garage directly beneath her real estate office. It was done in broad daylight at a busy strip mall and in front of a couple of security cameras that recorded the attack. But there's something else that stuck out to me in the news report that I think we should go over. But before we do, I'm extremely excited to announce that I will be exhibiting this year at CrimeCon UK in London on the 11th and 12th of June at the Leonardo Royal Hotel and Spa at St. Paul's. Get inside the mind of serial killers and psychopaths, learn from leading criminologists, hear from the families and survivors, meet your favorite true crime podcasters and YouTubers, immerse yourself in forensic evidence, and delve deeper into unsolved crimes. CrimeCon really is the ultimate true crime weekend, partnered by CBS Reality, the expert-led true crime TV channel. Limited early bird tickets are on sale now. For more information, you can visit crimecon.co.uk. This will be my very first time at CrimeCon, so if you're on that side of the pond, I hope that I'll see you there. Now, you can get 10% off of tickets to CrimeCon by using the code in the description below. And if you're one of my Patreon supporters, you get 15% off. I have posted that code inside Patreon. So if you are not one of my citizen detectives on Patreon and you're thinking about going to CrimeCon UK, now might be a good time to go ahead and support me over there. Now listen, this trip is going to be pretty expensive for my little channel, and I would love your financial support to make this trip happen for me. If you don't want to join my Patreon citizen detectives, which I completely understand, other ways that you could support me financially is by buying merch below all the videos here on YouTube or on my website. Or while you're over on my website, you can drop a tip in the tip jar there. And yeah, anything that I receive is going to help me make this trip. I really appreciate you guys for supporting my channel by watching and liking and subscribing and commenting. And thank you so much to those of you who also impart of your financial support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get back to the case of Ramina Shah. This is the part of the news report that I want to show you.
At this time, I can confirm that the victim, Ramina Shah, has no ties to the ongoing gang conflict. This is not related to that, and there's no ties to criminal activity. We did receive some background information from other witnesses and people that know her, and that information, with combination with the things we've seen at scene, lead us to believe this is an isolated incident and not random.
So when you hear the phrase, "this is isolated and not random," what do you think? What if I were to interpret that cop speak and change the word isolated to single and not random to planned? It becomes singular planned killing, right? There's got to be a word for that. There is. It's assassination. Assassination is the word we're looking for. Ramina Shah was assassinated. I want to go back to something that Sergeant Lee said in that clip.
At this time, I can confirm that the victim, Ramina Shah, has no ties to the ongoing gang conflict. This is not related to that.
The gang conflict that Sergeant Lee is referring to here is an ongoing war between rival organized crime gangs in Vancouver. Some of these gangs are known as the United Nations, the Red Scorpions, the Brothers Keepers, and yes, the Wolfpack. So what I get out of this comment is that Ramina Shah was not targeted by the gangs themselves, including the Wolfpack, which she had alleged ties to through her ex-husband. So if I could go into speculationville here for a second, my guess is that police have one suspect, and that suspect is probably Bobby Shah. Whether he did it himself or somebody else did it for him, I think they have their investigative sights pointed at him. But I'm curious what you think about the case. I would love your comments below. Now, this is a story that is developing and we have very little to go on, so I will circle back around on this case as more information comes to light. In the meantime, if you've not subscribed to my channel and you think that I've earned it, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, feel free to give it a thumbs down so I know the kind of content that you guys like to see. Be sure to grab those 10% discount tickets to CrimeCon UK if you're going to be in England June 11 and 12. The code and the link are in the description below, and you could get 15% off if you're a patron of mine, so the link below will take you over to my Patreon page. With that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much, guys. I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.